In this tutorial, we'll be covering how to add an event to the University of Iowa Scuba Club's website calendar and upcoming events list. To do so, go to iowascuba.org/administrator. Log in using your officer username and password, and click Login. From here, we can access the event management system one of two ways, by going to either Calendar Events, or by going to Components, DT Register, and clicking on Events. From here, we can click New, and fill in the lengthy yet useful information for the event. So in this case, we're going to give Ashley the ownership over the event and title the event Opening Meeting 2013. This is a club event. It's actually open to the public, given that it's the opening meeting. To have the event location available in the drop-down box, you'll need to add the location. I'm going to right-click on Locations in this menu bar and open it in a new tab. From here, I can add a new location in the top right. And I'm going to add the Ohio room of the IMU. The IMU is at 125 North Madison Street. Iowa City. Save and close. I'm going to close this tab now. And we're going to select an appropriate room for this event. This event does need to be published. Please click yes. And the time format can either be 12 or 24-hour format. Select the date and time for the event. So we'll make this August 20th or 27th at 8:30 p.m. and it's going to go till 9:30 p.m. You can leave the time zone alone. New registration emails are going to be sent to the secretary at iowascuba.org. And this event does not repeat. We're allowing individual registrations versus group. At no point will we ever need a group registration. And this event is set to public. There's no capacity for the event. And there's no minimum or maximum group size. We can have a registration open date, which sets the date that the registration will become available, and we can have a registration cutoff date if we wanted to cut off registration, say, a week before the event. These can be useful for trips. For instance, opening up the spring break trip registration for after the introductory meetings for the scuba club, and closing it 3 months before the spring break trip to make sure that all the deposits have been received on time. If there's a limited capacity for the event, for instance an open water diver class, you can enable the waiting list feature. We have never had the need for prerequisite categories or events, but if there is a need for a prerequisite event, for instance saying attending the introductory meeting, you can require that the introductory meeting be attended before being able to attend this current event that we're creating right now. You can generally leave most of these checkboxes to no, and you can select an event image if you'd like. Additionally, you can set fees And it's fine to have it set as pay later, meaning that although there is a fee for the event, it doesn't have to be paid at that time. And the individual registration rate right here is the fee for the event, and you can set that to $50, but otherwise it's free. If there's a member discount, you can make sure that you include the amount or percentage of a member discount. So say for an open water diver course, you could allow the public to register for it, but if you're a member of the Scuba Club and log into the website first, there can be a discount applied to the event. Additionally, you can go to the emails tab, set the from name, UI Scuba Club, and the email address contact@iowascuba.org, and you can provide specific emails to be sent not only to the registrant in this first email box, but also to the administrator when someone registers for your event. So if you have additional information that you need included, you can certainly include that in this email field. This is very useful for events like spring break, night games, and other things where we want people to register and then receive additional information by email. The Scuba Club website's registration system has some specific additional fields built in, including height, weight, and shoe size, which are applicable for wetsuits and fins. Including these fields in the registration of the events by default is a good idea because almost every event requires the height, weight, and shoe size as part of the rental process. And then lastly, the user panel gives you the ability to let users change their record and cancel their registration. And that can be done from the front end of the website when you're logged in by going to My Registration Records. When you're logged into the website, this would provide a list of the registered events that a person has signed up for, and it would give them the ability to cancel the event registration. When you've completed all of the tabs, the general tab, your pricing tab, any messages that you want included above or below the description of the event, any custom emails you'd like sent, any custom fields you'd like to use, and provided users to change or cancel their registration up to a certain day if you'd like to put a date cutoff on those options. And then you would click Save and Close. Once clicking Save and Close, this event will now show up under Upcoming Events, and it will also show under the calendar and event registration menus. Additional information that may be useful with the calendar event feature is email attachments. So if you go to the emails field, you can send email attachments. This is extremely useful for events like night games and spring break where you may need to send additional files like the Scuba Club waiver to night games attendees when they sign up to try out scuba for the first time. You can attach the waiver to their thank you email as well as providing them additional information like make sure you bring a towel, swimsuit, change of clothes, warm clothes, and things like that into the email, and then send the waiver along as an attachment file. It's an extremely useful feature to the email attachments. Additionally, there may be some events that you don't want to allow people to actually register for, but that you want on the calendar anyway. Under Members, you'll have the calendar option on the front end of the website. When you create an event, it'll be shown on that day, but if you don't want people to register for it, you essentially set the registration cutoff day to a day after the event has occurred. I apologize. That's going to be the registration open date to a day after the after the event has occurred. So if the event occurs on January 1st, 2013, set the registration open date to January 2nd, 2013, meaning that no one will ever be able to register for the event, yet it will still show up in the upcoming events and calendar box. So if you don't want people to register for your general members meeting, or your introductory meeting that is, you can set up the introductory meeting. It will still pop up on the calendar, But if you set the registration open date to a day after that meeting occurs, then registration for the event will never open up and people will not be able to register for it.